Let x1, x2, etc. xn be sets and let capital X be their Cartesian product. That is, we assume that capital X is equal to x1 cross x2 cross etc. cross xn. Now, for each I varying from 1 to n, we define function pi I from x to xi by pi I of every point of capital X, which will be of the form of an n-tuple, say x1, x2, etc. xn, and the image is defined as a point from the set capital Xi, and we define that image to be the ith coordinate of this n-tuple, that is small xi. Then this function pi I is called the projection on xi, or in other words the ith projection, since this is a function which gives us the ith coordinate of every point of our Cartesian product. Now let us assume that each of these sets x1, x2, etc. xn are all non-empty. Here note that we have not considered any topology on any of these sets yet. Since each of these sets are non-empty, we can choose a point, say y1 from x1, another point, say y2 from x2, etc. I can pick a point, say yn from the set xn. So these are some fixed points from these sets. There is only one point labeled y1 in this set x1. Similarly, the point y2 we have taken from x2 is unique, and so on. So we have some fixed points. Now I want to check whether this function, the projection function defined from x to xi, is onto or not, whether this function is surjective. To check this, I need to consider an arbitrary element from this codomain xi and check whether it has a preimage in the domain x. Let xi be an arbitrary point from capital Xi. Now I can consider an n-tuple of the form y1, y2, etc. yi minus 1. That means I minus first coordinate of my n-tuple is the fixed point yi minus 1, and I take the ith coordinate to be this point xi. The I minus first coordinate is taken as yi plus 1 and so on. Nth coordinate is yn. Now this n-tuple, this is an n-tuple, and this will be a member of the Cartesian product x1 cross x2 cross etc. cross xi minus 1 cross xi cross xi plus 1 cross etc. cross xn. Since y1 will be a member of x1, y2 will be a member of x2, yi minus 1 is a member of xi minus 1, small xi is a member of capital Xi, yi plus 1 is a member of xi plus 1, and so on, yn is a member of xn. So this is a member of the Cartesian product capital X, and we can see that the image of this n-tuple under the function pi I will be equal to the ith coordinate, which is our xi. This means that the point xi has a pre-image which is given by this n tuple. So we can see that every element of our codomain has a pre-image under this function pi I. Hence, pi I is onto. Thus, we have proved that if each of these coordinate sets of our Cartesian product are non-empty, then the corresponding projection functions will be onto or surjective. Thus, in general, we can conclude that the projection functions are onto or surjective. Thus, we have observed that if x element of capital X, then pi I of x is the ith coordinate of x. Now, let us consider a theorem on these projection functions. It states that if this xi tau I, where I varies from 1 to n, is a collection of topological spaces, and x tau their topological product, then each projection pi I is continuous. Moreover, if z is any space, then the function f from z to x is continuous if and only if pi I composition f from z to xi is continuous for all I varying from 1 to n. So we have to show that the projection function pi I is continuous. Also, we need to prove the statement f is continuous if and only if pi I composition f is continuous for each I. Let us first prove that the projection functions are continuous. We know that to prove that a function is continuous, it is enough to show that the inverse image of every open set is open. So let us first consider an open set, say Vi from capital Xi. That is, Vi belongs to tau I. We have to show that its inverse image pi I inverse of Vi is open in X. That is, we need to show that pi I inverse of Vi belongs to tau, the topology on X, which is the product topology. We know that pi I inverse of Vi is the collection of all points, a collection of n tuples from X such that its image pi I of x1, x2, etc. xn belongs to Vi. That means it is the collection of all n tuples in capital X such that the ith coordinate xi belongs to Vi. So if an n tuple has to be a member of this pi I inverse of Vi, its ith coordinate should belong to Vi. The other coordinates, the coordinates other than the ith one, can be any member of the respective spaces, but ith coordinate should be from the set Vi itself. So this is equal to x1 cross x2 cross etc. The I minus first coordinate of these n tuples can be any member of xi minus 1. So we write xi minus 1 here. But the ith coordinate should be from Vi. Hence, Vi cross. Similarly, the I minus first coordinate can be any member of xi plus 1. There are no other constraints. So, this is equal to xi plus 1 cross etc. cross xn. We wrote this because there are no restrictions on any other coordinates of x. Only the ith coordinate is required to lie in vi. And we know that capital X1 is open in x1. Similarly, capital X2 is open in x2 and so on. And we know that vi belongs to tau I. So, vi is open in the respective space xi and so on. Hence, the Cartesian product we wrote here is in fact an open box with respect to the product topology on x, that is tau. So, this is an open set in x. Thus, we have proved that for any open set vi in xi, its inverse image pi I inverse of vi is open in x. So, as required, we can conclude that pi I is continuous. For the second part, suppose f from z to x is continuous. Then, for each I, pi I composition f is the composition of two continuous functions. We have already proved that pi I is continuous and we have assumed here that f is continuous. So, pi I composition f for each I is a composite of two continuous functions. And we already know that compositions of continuous functions are continuous. Hence, pi I composition f, which is a function defined from z to xi, will be continuous for each I. So, if f is continuous, then pi I composition f is continuous for each I. For the converse part, suppose each pi I composition f, which is defined from z to xi, is continuous. For convenience, let us denote this pi I composition f by fi. Now, we need to prove that f is continuous. For this, it is sufficient to prove that the inverse image of any member of a base for the space x tau, the codomain, is an open subset of z. That is our domain of this function f. So, we need only consider an arbitrary element of a base for tau and we need to show that its inverse image will be open in z. We know that tau here is the product topology on the Cartesian product x and that a base for x tau can be taken to be the collection of all open boxes. That is, by the definition of product topology, a base for it consists of all sets V of the form V1 cross V2 cross etc. cross Vn, where each Vi element of tau I for I varying from 1 to n. Now we need to consider the inverse image of V, that is f inverse of V, which is equal to f inverse of V1 cross V2 cross etc. cross Vn. And we need to show that this is in fact an open set in Z. But we have Z element of f inverse of V if and only if f of Z element of V, and since V is equal to V1 cross V2 cross etc. cross Vn, which can also be expressed as pi I varying from 1 to n Vi in compact form. Hence, this is possible if and only if the ith coordinate of this point belongs to Vi. Ith coordinate can be expressed as pi I of f of z. It must belong to Vi for each I, which can be expressed as pi I composition f of z, and it must belong to Vi for each I. And we have denoted this function pi I composition f as fi for convenience. So we can write fi of z belongs to Vi for each I. This is possible if and only if z belongs to fi inverse of Vi, where I varies from 1 to n. This is possible if and only if z belongs to intersection of all these sets of the form fi inverse of Vi, where I varies from 1 to n. Thus, we have obtained the relation f inverse of V is equal to intersection over I varying from 1 to n fi inverse of Vi. But here on the right hand side, we have sets of the form fi inverse of Vi, and we know that each fi is continuous and each Vi is open in the respective spaces. Hence, the inverse image fi inverse of Vi is open in Z. Hence, f inverse of V being the intersection of finitely many open sets is open in Z. This proves that f is continuous whenever fi, that is pi I composition f, is continuous for each I. And hence this completes our proof.